Very important before I sit on it. And rest it back up. Really bad vocal fry when I'm nervous. I discover upon rewatching every video.
Yeah, you just gotta try hard to speak in your voice and not speak in a voice, because as soon as you start speaking a voice, all the tics get way worse.
Yes, it's true. Like that.
Yeah, the tip I remember hearing from, I think it was Ira Glass's podcast on podcasts, was you have to accept the vulnerability of your voice.
Gross.
As in, you will go to a put-on voice when you're afraid your voice is going to falter. Mm. But the put-on voice also sounds like faltering. Like, it doesn't make you sound less nervous if you suddenly swap into another voice. So it's better to hold and let your voice do whatever thing you're afraid it's going to do, either pause or hiccup or waver or something. Yeah. And then keep going in your voice than to change gears into whatever your preferred artificial voice is, because people can hear the code switch into your explanatory voice. Yeah. That's at least my conceptual framework for it.
Yeah.
Like, better to hiccup or whatever than switch.
Yes. It's funny because it feels like this should be less intimidating than actual public speaking. You know, it's much worse.
Well,
probably because I don't have to hear myself later.
Public speaking is done.
It's true, yeah.
I'm not coming back and listening to that.
It's over. I'm sweating so hard.
That's so funny. That's that one time I did a take and then I was like, hang on, we gotta do something else. And then I hung out for like an hour and went back into another one.
Exactly.
Just like accidentally spiked my heart rate.
I don't know how Gen Z does it. You weirdos.
Reps. Yeah, get the reps in.
Okay, it's true.
It's like Among Us. I literally had to play 100 games before I could like not just begin sweating palpably in the middle of the game out of nervousness and screwing things up.
Me playing the gentle little kid pillow game.
Blue's pretty sus. He's walking around in circles. Oh, God.
You're not even blue.
Oh, man. Imposter.
Vocal fry through imposter.
Imposter. I had one the other day where I was playing a new map, and I was like, oh good, like hopefully I don't have to play. Oh no, I'm imposter. And then the first task, everybody was in a huge group all at the beginning, and then I was like, I just killed somebody in the group. I don't know why I did that.
Just panic
stab somebody, and then somebody immediately reported it. But it went okay immediately because they were like, wait, what just happened? And I was like, I don't know, I think Red stabbed somebody. And they voted him off, and then it wasn't him. And they're like, well, obviously it was that guy. I was like, yeah, I have no explanation for myself.
Classic panic stabbing. Happens all the time. I'm panic stabbing right now.
Just so many people in line.
The true meaning of going postal. I don't know.
I do appreciate that in Among Us, it's a research station, all the levels, like that's the premise. 15 people on a remote research station, like that's a completely reasonable premise. Someone's getting stabbed.
100%.
I don't even need any further
have to go to
story development.
One conference or pull one late night in the lab. waiting for your turn on the thermocycler to know that someone's getting stabbed.
Did you see that article about, like, the Arctic Research Station had some drama because, like, one dude was
SOS.
playing NSYNC really loudly for, like, several days in a row.
Oh, God. That would be me. That's how I would get stabbed. I don't know. I just want to listen to the same 3 songs over and over again forever.
And then I think, like, Geico or somebody did a commercial with that same premise.
Yes.
Right?
I do remember the commercial.
Yeah.
Yep.
The Asian dude's like, I'm just walking for the exit.
No. Don't. Okay. I feel a little better, thank you.
Helping.
Happy. Hello and welcome to Roasting High School Art. Also, he's here.
I'm here for this one. Allegedly.
Allegedly. I don't know, Black's acting pretty sus. One or more of us will get thrown out of the airlock by the end of this video.
He'd like to vote her.
Leave a comment to vote for him. How do I call an emergency meeting on YouTube? How did we get here? I've already forgotten.
Vinyl stamps.
Yes. So, I got really excited about lino cuts, and I made one, and I was very certain this was my first one ever. And then my friend Rachel informed me that we definitely did them in high school. I don't know what happened to my brain, but high school is pretty much just a black hole in my memory. Like, it may as well not have happened. I used to joke that 10th grade was missing, but I think all of it is just missing, actually. And every time I talk to Rachel, who does remember high school because she was there, in that way that you remember things that happened to you in your life. And she always has some kind of story about high school. Like, do you remember when Steve did that crazy thing in that class we took? And I'm like, I've never met a Steve. I don't think I've ever taken that class. And I'm not sure what you're talking about, actually.
Immediately proceeds to, like, open the yearbook, and it's like you and Steve signed each other's
In
picture.
every photo together. Yeah. It turns out I actually dated Steve for like 3 years. Apologies to all the hypothetical Steves in my life. Insert millennial joke here. I like it. I'm sticking with it. My whole timeline is just 9/11 and then get a job. That's it.
Being a millennial. One day I was drawing in my, neon notebook covered in stickers, and then boom, 9/11, and then, hey, the economy.
It was inline skates, Lisa Frank, 9/11. The economy has tanked and you're graduating college. Good luck out there. But thankfully, my mom, also being a person who doesn't remember things, this is why I'm like this, saves things in storage forever and ever. So I went to my mom's and retrieved the high school art portfolio. This thing has been through multiple attics, garages, closets, probably at least one storage unit, and 2 states. Is now held together with tape and a prayer. The paper is actively crumbling. I can feel it coming off on my hands. But I've not looked inside this in many years. I think I've seen it once since high school. And I'm a little bit afraid of what's in here. Because I know that all of the good art that I liked got framed and like actually put up in my mom's house. And so this is just the garbage art. It's just the stuff that was not good enough to look at on a daily basis.
And so, with no further ado.
With a little further ado, because I'm also going to drink about it. Insert aesthetic video of you mixing drinks here.
Elegant. Graceful.
Soft focus.
We should have cheersed.
That was really loud. It's the true joy of being an adult. It's getting to look back at all of your childhood garbage and drink. Drink the shame away.
Vastly less traumatic with the chemical buffer used.
Exactly. It's like the like 1950s LSD therapy. Just we're gonna go through the trauma, but like you're gonna be out of your mind, so it's not gonna be as bad.
Real hard to be upset about your dad while your face is melting.
I am my dad. These are his hands.
Always have been.
Now, without further ado, both of our channels are adult channels now. Sorry, children. It's not for you.
Hard pivot.
Subscribe to my OnlyFans. This that I have been informed of is a dragonfly.
It looks like a dragonfly. I see the dragonfly.
Yes. It has to be a statue of a dragonfly that I was drawing, because dragonflies don't look like this. And I was definitely old enough to not think that dragonflies looked like this, even though this was largely before Google's.
The compound eye is really the tell. I feel like you wouldn't make that mistake unless you were...
Right, copying off of something that did not have compound eyes.
Yeah. We're gonna give you a pass on this one.
Either that or there was a deadline, and I phoned it in, because that's also a thing that happened. Yeah. Like, in general.
It's life.
In life.
Yeah.
It's due tomorrow. It appears to be oil pastel, as evidenced by the fact that there are chunks of oil pastel all over it, which I did not remove.
Pro tips.
Put that...
Remove the chunks.
It's texture. The prevalence of chunks really really a vote for there was a deadline approaching.
This was a sketch, now it's a project.
You gotta get it done. I do vaguely remember being very excited about shrink wrapping things because the blow dryer was fun. Just apparently before my aversion to loud noises. There's also, like, the pencil marks are still on the page. Why would I seal those in?
Portrait of the artist at work.
Embarrassing. Just mounted on cardboard. To be fair, it does not deserve better than cardboard. It's not a good time. Not my finest work. Next thing is small. Oh.
Portrait of the artist. At work.
realizing that, like, nothing about me has changed in 15 years.
That's sort of the thing you were talking about that early stage in everyone's drawing where you work from reference stuff, and so you get the size right, but the relative proportion and positioning wrong.
Yes. The lines are, like, sort of in the correct place, but not quite, and everything is flat and weird.
Eyes one way, nose the other way.
Yeah, the shape of the eye did not change enough for a 3/4 view. It's just sort of shorter. I was rocking the Instabrow before the Instabrow was cool. Instagram did not exist yet. Ahead of my time. This is my chief complaint. Is when I was a kid, everyone had really, really thin eyebrows. And I did not. And now, everyone wants my eyebrows. I finally lived long enough to become cool. It's me, I'm the aesthetic. But I definitely still draw eyes like this. This is really embarrassing. So I, like, really undersold my nose. It's like, what if my nose bit dainty?
That's what messes with the angle too, because I think the nose is foreshortened.
Yes.
So, like, the nose is pointing towards the...
Yeah, and then it's just sideways at the bottom.
Yeah.
It's actually a picture of my face twisting this way. Half of it is facing forward. We got 3/4 and then just a full profile.
Did a 3/4 twist pose, but with just your head.
Not as flexible as I used to be. Can't get that good owl rotation anymore. Also, like, what? I was just like, I don't know. I don't want to use a big paper or cut this paper. Just
As soon as you
fold
finish
it to hide my shame.
Away.
At least I knew. I knew that something had gone. Oh God, there's a whole sketchbook in here. All right, we're gonna look at other things before we look at that. Why? Why did I do this? It's just a waste of acrylic paint.
Maybe you have it upside down.
You're right, it's so much better this way. No, it definitely goes this way. I don't know why, but I'm sure that it goes this way.
This way, it's evocative of a water scene. With stuff growing along the...
Like a pond scene.
A pond, yeah. This way, it's a wave, but the wave is yellow. Like, the motion is all wrong for the color.
Yes.
That's why I didn't like it this way.
That's fair.
See what I'm saying?
This direction stresses me out somehow, though. Like, I find
Well, yeah, but there's dynamism to it. That's why like this stresses me out, because the tension is lost. It's like it was going somewhere.
I have to drink about this one.
Okay, this way, it's a really dramatic profile of somebody.
Yes.
Who's backlit.
Yes. I can see it. It's got some spooky eyes right here. Would that I could get this acrylic paint back. Oh, it gets worse and then better, or maybe better and then worse. Straight to MoMA. Why is it so muddy? I mean, I know why it's so muddy, because this was due in 10 minutes, and therefore I did not let anything dry before putting the next layer on. So the orange has become brown.
you did a final blue wash, but this is what didn't dry, and you can see this one just got lifted and dragged.
And then I appear to have taken the other end of my paintbrush, just dragged some lines through the wet paint.
Abstract.
Trying to think of something clever that this could signify, and I have nothing.
Who draws the colorful squares?
I don't remember. Like, I can picture it, but I don't have a name.
Yeah. Darn. It's gonna be like, eat your heart out, that guy.
You wish you could! I feel like this might have been, like, on a abstract art lecture day, where they were like, behold, the magnificent single black square. And being like, whatever, 16 or 17, we were like, that's stupid.
I could draw like 10 squares.
And here we go, 10 squares.
You know, but no, it does seem like if this is a series, like it was something that was about like show the manipulation of the paint instead of the paint itself, right? Because this one is very brushstroke heavy, and that one, the alternative brushstrokes, and the one we're about to look at also looks like it was a play with paint direction more than a...
Yes. Yeah, I feel like you're my gallery wall now. This one is the least offensive. I feel like we must have been talking about Jackson Pollock on this day. This has a distinct teenager phones in Jackson Pollock vibe.
The important thing is to show the energy through the movement of the paint.
I think it's important to note also that this is around the age at which I very aggressively answered every essay prompt with like the snarkiest possible bullshit I could imagine. Like all of my college admissions essays that were like, tell us about who you are as a person, were about how I'm 18 and I don't know shit. How could I possibly tell you who I am as a person? Which wasn't wrong, but like the attitude was weird.
Tell us about your favorite book. I won't, because it doesn't mean anything about who I am.
Actually vague blogged my entire college admission.
Talks about an obstacle you had to overcome. Well, there's this arbitrary series of essays and questions I've got to answer, so... That's probably...
Write about like a literal obstacle. Just like the time that I ran the hurdles.
I remember clearly it was a warm spring night. I was heading down the normal bike path when I discovered a tree had quite literally crossed the path.
There it was. It had not been trimmed back yet by the city gardeners.
And I said to myself, there it is.
An obstacle.
Haven't encountered one of those before.
My God. And then I adjusted my path slightly in order to go around it. And that's the story of how I got into college anyway.
He's a good boy.
It's not the worst. I don't hate this one. I kind of want to burn the other ones. But wait.
There's more.
There's more in this series. This one's on cardboard. This is the least smooth application of paint that that I've ever seen in my life. This is the driest brush of all time.
You can feel the disdain for the medium. The struggle is not creative, but instead against having to turn in this assignment before the end of the week.
I'm gonna need like 3 more drinks. It's like it wants to be a coaster.
It would be a pretty sick coaster. Or a tie.
Yes. Yes.
I might own that tie.
Yeah, you almost certainly own this tie. And I have yet to receive any royalties. Oh no. Don't fall, cactus. I just frisbeed that straight into my drink.
Right at it.
Dead center.
Naruto.
Truly incredible aim. Catch me at the 2021 Olympics. Sorry, class.
Paint was on so thin it couldn't even knock that glass over.
Oh, all the vodka was at the bottom. As usual, I drank too slowly. I was a fool. Oh god, this is from a different class entirely.
Wow.
Fashion class. This is literally how to sew a plain seam. I think this might have been my final. Just different stitches. A dart. I did it.
Behold.
It's actually kind of useful. I don't remember how to sew any of these stitches anymore. Good thing I can learn. It's just a wiki-how. My assignment was a wiki-how, apparently. French seam. Who let me buy this fabric? Who made this fabric? Who let me not line up this fabric at all? I cut off this woman's legs. And then apparently I just didn't finish. Why is any of this? Just a grab bag of all of my high school shame, apparently. Sketchbook. It's like a nice sketchbook too. This is leather. It has a pencil holder.
That's a Christmas present if I've ever seen one, or birthday present.
Hanukkah present.
Hanukkah present.
Here we go. Here is the best evidence of all time that I've never changed as a person. The first page is a purple hand.
What else? What else would it be?
I later recreated this by painting my hand purple. Here it is again in charcoal. This is actually not bad. This is acceptable anatomy. I did not like it.
Note. Terrible. Double underlined. Didn't spend time on shading, just wanted to play with my new charcoal pencils. 8/27/05.
2005. This is literally the most me reaction to anything. I didn't try though, so that's why it sucks.
I need to know this sucks and that I didn't mean to.
But that I could have if I'd wanted to.
I know this is my sketchbook, but I need everyone to know that I wasn't trying very hard.
This is apparently when I was listening to the Kaiser Chiefs album. Because I just wrote music when the lights go out. And then drew things badly.
I like this friendly little guy right here.
He's just a good friend you don't know. Yeah, this is just Kaiser Chiefs song lyrics on this page.
What else?
I'm planning the 5 hands.
There it is.
Apparently I did them with cutlery. Because of who I am as a person.
I also like how you refused to make them 5 distinct hands and combined 3 of them into one. Because...
Look, man.
I decide what counts as a hand.
With such helpful notes as, add in my study of hands to study of forks and spoons. Use fork as paintbrush. And the thing that is so embarrassing. Mild surrealism, Escher-style hands. Yeah, alright. I'm gonna just do that Escher-style real quick.
I like this brief consideration of straightened hair, too.
I was straightening my hair a lot at this time. I did not, however, have bangs or side pieces, because my hair does not do that.
This one appears to be like a planning for a high ponytail. Just feeling it out.
Working on it. At least I finally figured out how to turn a face. So we've made progress. I hate myself. There's a Pinterest quote about art featuring the girl from The Ring. Also some pinking shears, because I really hated whatever happened here. It's the only explanation. Nope. No one can ever see that again. It's here. 5 hands. Eat your heart out, Escher. The hands are actually fine. The problem is really in my ability to draw a spoon,
I was
apparently.
gonna say, what happened to that spoon study that the hand study was gonna be added on top of?
I had never done cutlery studies, and it shows.
The fork is fine.
The fork is fine.
It's bizarre spoon architecture.
Really bizarre. Also, I didn't actually choose any lighting for the piece overall, so everything is just lit from a different direction.
Half of it's lit from this way, except everything that's lit from this way.
But also below?
That's what I'm saying, like down, like this is lit from below.
Yeah, and then this is lit from above.
Escher.
Escher, clearly. Also...
Is that spoon concave or convex?
This spoon is featuring Starry Night. The only explanation is this is actually an homage to Van Gogh.
The Portrait of Van Gogh, painting Starry Night, and looking at his spoon.
The anatomy on this hand got a little weird. I'm definitely missing a little flesh. This should move a little bit this way.
There's one extra knuckle on this finger.
No, that's okay. Like, it's a little broken, but that's that knuckle.
The problem is
the right number, but the wrong placement. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, half of the palm got cut off. Like, the palm should end over here.
Or it could be a really small palm if you ended it like...
Right. But then the size of the fingers doesn't make sense. Like, I got narrow hands, but not that narrow. This one's really got like a claw thing happening. This hand came out okay. 1 of 5 hands came out all right. This might have been, what was it, 2005? So this is honors art. This is 11th grade.
Everyone had to draw one.
Oh, this is when I got excited about colored pencils. And October.
As you do.
Just kidding, that's a bell pepper. But it feels right. This is actually a pretty good bell pepper. I'm cool with this bell pepper. And this unfinished eye. Just really confused about how eyelashes work and where they come from.
Got tired. I'll be back.
Good night. This is a headless portrait. It does not appear to have been intended as a headless portrait, as there is a very faint head sketched in. I just didn't quite get around to it. In a colored pencil or oil pastel. It's just really aggressive colored pencil. As usual, it's blue with yellow highlights. So there's that. And also some orange. All 2 of the colors I like. Oh, there's notes. Oh, this is just a Pinterest art quote page featuring such hits as, "The act of drawing. It doesn't matter what style. It is the artistic results that counts." I don't even know why I wrote this one, as I was not religious, but okay. It is a spiritual covenant between the maker and the higher power. Wow, I was like really on a theme on this page. It isn't the subject of an artwork, but the underlying message and feeling that the finished project conveys that is important. Yeah, I guess I'll read the rest of these, but they're all just... I mean, they're all deeply meaningful, and I'm so glad I still have them. A painting reaches a saturation point. Until that point, it can be completed many times to reach the desired look. That's it, that's the tweet. It is like filling a glass. 1 drop too many, and the water spills. 1 less to create perfection. I always wanted to draw realistically. For me, art is a continuous discovery of reality. I wanted to go a step further and extend the boundaries. I also believe that people have a deep need to understand their world, and that art clarifies reality for them. Art can interpret and define reality. always try to extend the boundaries of reality. Also, just no attributions,
No.
so...
Put it on the edge board.
Send tweet.
I like the implication that a completely full glass of liquid is perfect. So I always say. So when hands me a glass of water, I'm like, oh, thank you.
It's perfect.
It's perfect. There's a single drop more water, it's gonna be a problem. But also less.
As we all know, the perfect glass is the one that you peg with a flying piece of cardboard.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab my water bottle.
Okay, please come back with more alcohol. Thank you. Here's that attempt at a 3/4 view again. This is not how noses work. I don't know why I thought this is how noses work. I want to say this is what I look like with straight hair, but it's really not. Although I did have very straight hair at the time. You may also recognize this IKEA lamp. I feel like we all had this IKEA lamp. More hands. This time in line drawing format because I haven't changed as a person, apparently. With like a great 2000s chunky bracelet situation happening. This is actually kind of cool. I'm sort of vibing. I'm into this plant line drawing situation. I think I tried to recreate this in a later sketchbook and like really didn't. Oh. Okay, this is when we started doing life drawing. So, I'm not the only person that did this, in my defense, but I went through this phase of taking photos for MySpace, saturating them with weird color edits, and then printing them out so they came out like streaky and awful, and then just lining them in pen. This was like a whole thing. This like MySpace aesthetic is totally still my jam. I can't even be mad about this. Anyway, back to life drawing. These are kind of okay, although like a weird approach to figure drawing. And then there's like 10 pages that I apparently got really mad at and just cut out entirely before abandoning this sketchbook, never to be used again. Such a waste of a sketchbook. Hello. Thank you. You missed. Line drawing of hands. With a chonky 2000s bracelet. 2 figure drawings. And then I cut out like 10 pages and then just abandoned the sketchbook.
Wow. Something went awry.
And then we have paintings on actual canvas, so like I feel like these might, like things might be improving from here.
That might have been the worst of it.
That might have been the worst of it. We have this deeply unfinished self-portrait that was definitely from a MySpace photo. I remember this photo.
But the photo was red.
Yes. Well, my MySpace aesthetic was very red, and my art aesthetic has always been very blue.
This is an inversion of the MySpace photo.
Oh, that was the other thing you missed in the sketchbook, is that time that I took a bunch of photos clearly for MySpace, color corrected them into like yellows and greens, printed them out on my home printer so they're streaky and awful, and then just outlined them in pen. And I can't even be mad at it. Like, I stand behind that aesthetic.
It was a look.
Like, MySpace art is still it. That's it. I'm not mad at this either, except that, like, there's literally no paint on most of this canvas. Like, I didn't prep it. I didn't underpaint it. I realized that it was really blank and just, like, lightly washed it in green. But, like, clearly at the end, you can still see the pencil marks. But it was, like, almost a good piece. I was on the right track. The shapes are right. We've progressed from lines to shapes. So, we're getting there.
I like the stylized Z and the signature on the back too.
Oh, thank you. I still sign my name like this. Just make the capital letters really long. I actually like this, but also it's hilarious how little I've changed as a person. Here it is. 3 colors, some line drawings of hands, and me in a bathing suit top and shorts. What appear to be men's shorts. And also a close crop of my eye.
Just left the rest of the face out of this one.
This appears to be acrylic paint and then pen. Possibly Sharpie. But like, this is a vibe. I don't hate this. Like, I kind of wish this figure was a little bit different. But overall, I'm quite pleased with baby me.
Solid execution.
In AP art. Working off high contrast MySpace photo references of myself.
using Adobe Photoshop 3.
That I only had access to because of Yearbook. I brought the CD-ROM home. This... Okay, that's actually the corpse of an insect. This was definitely me trying to paint like my friend Layla. Purple. I have absolutely no idea what I was trying to say with this piece, but I appear to have paper mache'd 3 canvases together.
What is she holding? Like a candle?
I literally have no idea.
It looks like a stick of butter.
That would be on brand. I don't think I finished this.
Right, no, it looks like it's a candle,
supposed to be like
they
a
didn't draw the
torch or a
flame.
candle. Yeah. And then I just like didn't. It's canon, it's butter. She's lighting the way for the huddled masses with butter. This is actually about food deserts.
There's a lot of like black tape on there too.
That's paper mache. This is tissue paper.
It's all just tissue. Oh,
you can see where it's really poorly glued down in some places.
These poor huddled masses.
The huddled masses
In
of
green.
a single individual girl in green. It's about conformity and butter.
It's about dealing with intrusive thoughts. These are all the voices in your head. This is you reaching the refrigerator and grabbing a stick of butter.
Oh my god.
Silence!
That is how I deal with intrusive thoughts. Why am I anxious? Just kidding, I'm hungry. Maybe it's cheese. Okay, it's still better at shapes though. I like this one because she has claw hands.
In the post-apocalyptic butterless future.
Bleak butterless times. Only one girl. Hunger Games. This is clearly our protagonist, whatever her name is, volunteering as tribute.
Katniss
That sounds right.
Evergreen?
Wow, heavy-handed.
Might be like...
That sounds right. I don't know. I didn't read it.
I didn't read it.
Oh, Everdeen might be it. But I kind of like it as Evergreen.
I honestly... My brain popped up, I was trying to remember it, and I was like, that's wrong, was Catnip Evergreen. And I was like, that's close, but it's not it. Thanks, brain. Alright.
Her name is Catnip Evergreen. And she's gonna save the huddled masses of clones with butter. The glowing butter orb. It's actually not glowing, it's spraying butter. Which would explain why it's not shiny at all.
That's why it's separate out. That's actually showing impact. Just slammed the butter against something. It's actually the reverse.
Into the wall.
She's not saving them with butter. She's saving them from butter. It's like it's ruining your arteries. Like, no.
So embarrassing. And again, I just like, I didn't cover it with paint. Like it just thin layer and then, I don't know, close enough.
I'm done now.
We're giving up now.
That's enough art for one day. Consider reality expanded.
Not a single drop more. or it would overflow. I sure gave up on a lot of paintings.
It's a good background for a painting.
On this edition of Spooky Bob Ross, I'm gonna paint a spooky little tree.
It's like a willow that you just gave up on.
There were branches that I literally just stopped drawing.
Literally didn't finish some of these brushstrokes. Never mind.
Clearly, I was hungry and needed butter. But I didn't have any butter, and this is what happened. Started adding light, and then I was just like, nah.
I can't tell if this is the background or a rock that is in front of the tree.
I can't either.
It's going great so far. Portrait of the artist.
This is also definitely based off a MySpace picture. Apparently, at this point, I gave up on both necks and hands. I'm fully turtled. This is an amputated... this is the stub of what was once a hand. Holding an iPod mini.
It's actually a surrealist work. You've lost your ability to connect and interact with the world, except through this device.
An iPod mini and headphones that are not plugged into it. A technology that we did not yet possess.
Cannot connect with the world. Only square.
Also, why is her hair like... That's not how hair works. Like, if I wanted to cut off her hand, that's fine. But for one thing, her hand would be like here.
Is that a nail? Like, is it supposed to be a finger? It's like a little claw that has daintily painted tips. They're purple. Hand me the iPad.
Maybe I just watched The Elephant Man.
So I made this thing.
Apparently I liked it enough to sign it, so...
This is the kind of photo that like a Victorian nobility would send with a marriage proposal. She painted the self-portrait.
This is my dowry, do you want me? It's me, the lady from Portrait of a Woman on Fire, or a Lady on Fire.
Also, where's that hand coming from? Extending out from the elbow of the other hand?
There's a lot of proportion problems. The anatomy went so wrong. I had so many hand studies and not enough arm studies. No concept of how long forearms are.
To be fair, that is actually a very teenage pose to end up in, because no human that is capable of like becoming sore would do that to themselves.
Utterly collapsed into it. It's literally better anatomy from the same time. I don't understand. A still life in pencil that appears to have also never been finished.
A lamp?
There's a candlestick, I believe.
Candlestick, thank you.
Candlestick. Yes, oh, look! My second ever spoon. It got better. It got better. I have no answers for you. I think they draped some fabric over something. Also, it's statue of an eagle.
See, because if I look at it from a distance, it looks like there's a little dog hiding in the sheets right there.
It's Mr. Toad in a cloak. It's actually my art teacher. Apparently also some shells on the table. Some major composition problems. Although it's also unclear where I was going with this, considering I just gave up around here and then did not go any higher.
Got the detail in on that candlestick and you're like, that's it. I'm done.
This was 100% my thing. It was like I would decide to do something with tiny detail, like this tablecloth that I decided to faithfully render, apparently. And then I'd just be like, I can't. I literally cannot anymore. Class is over. We're moving on to another assignment. I did this with we had like an honors art still life with plants. And I was like, I'm gonna draw that ivy. Many realistically rendered tiny leaves later, I remembered that I was working on a big piece of paper. That was a terrible idea.
Just kidding. Small ivy in the corner.
It was already in the middle. I don't know. It was too late. I think I just stopped, as I do with all of these. Never mind. Ah, yes. A collage. In my 3 favorite colors. The home printer was inside me all along. This is some lazy collage work. Just cut out eyes. It's like, I'm gonna build a nose, but not eyes. Gotta get a hand in there in the foreground. A little better on that 3/4 view, though. I have finally remembered the second nostril.
Surprisingly interesting and faithful rendition of your hair through the years, too.
Straight and brown, straight and purple, curly brown. It's true. There it is.
This is actually your picture of Dorian Gray.
Oh my god. And purple lipstick. A thing which is also true to life. What? This is just a piece of paper.
That's why I didn't make the mounting cut.
And this is why none of these got framed. Oh, I remember working on this. This took so long. I hate colored pencils because of this.
Behold.
Blue.
Blue.
This took all day and all night. This was an all-nighter. The night before it was due. I just went to school having not slept. For this.
For this.
Look, Eiffel 65 is the actual most meaningful thing in my life. That was my formative experience, was now that's what I call Music 5. It's fine. I can see the places where I was too tired to crosshatch.
I like how you nailed the detailing on the upper lip to the point that it looks like that part is like shined and polished comparatively.
It was just like, I don't know, circle chin.
This is like when you try and do a tilt shift.
Yes.
But like, it's way too extreme.
Yes.
And it's just like, boom, one part, super in focus, the rest, soft focus.
It's so upsetting. This is the actual history of my art career. It's really poor time management, and everything suffers as a result. Like, there's so many, like, good pieces. The eyebrow is great. The top lip, nailed it. The lighting is in the right places, generally. Except for whatever happened with the chin. And yet.
And yet.
And yet. But to be fair, this is like a good, like this MySpace angle. Just from the top.
Yeah, that's a... if I've ever seen one.
Exactly. Which is weird, because I was definitely sitting in front of a mirror for this. So apparently I was leaning forward quite heavily.
I mean, have you seen yourself work with something? There it is.
And that's how this happened.
That's how my face looks. That's actually where the mouse is a little too close too, because you want to do the detail and you have to lift your face up more.
Yep.
So you got a closer look at it.
It's true. Also, this was on black paper, apparently, so that I could suffer more. Ah, yes. I remember this portrait from grade 10.
Wow.
They hung this up in the hallway. I was really proud. This piece is much better in my memory than it is in real life.
The haircut.
It was of its time.
I was gonna say, yeah, I had that haircut.
Everyone had that haircut. It's like so close. This is absolutely teenage girl art. I came so close. And yet, like, the eye area is just wrong. That's not how faces are.
And either
But, like, the neck and jaw is alright.
more erasing or less.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
to be fair, it has also just been, like, rubbing
right.
away steadily. I think it actually had more shading originally.
Probably.
Yeah. But yes, it's also, like, I didn't actually cross-hatch any shading. Like, I literally just, like, smudged it with probably my finger. And then did not attempt to render his hair at all. Just outline and then scribble. Scribble. But you know what? Just the best portrait in 10th grade. I did it. I won. It hung in the hallway and everyone stopped to talk to me about it.
Wow.
I really thought my mouth was smaller than it is in real life. I had like a whole thing about my mouth, apparently. It's also really unclear on what size my head is compared to my features.
I'm telling you, this one again looks like you were looking up into a mirror.
Because I probably was. I had the like IKEA squiggle mirrors too, so they were really narrow, so I couldn't see my whole face at once.
So you're turning your face to like get all the angles in there. Funhouse mirroring.
Yeah. Just really bad at hair.
And curl.
And curl. Just wait.
Damn, right there it is.
I render eyebrows okay. Like a little too neat and combed, but like it looks like eyebrows at least. Still really confused about eyelashes. Yeah, everything just features really crowded in on just like the lower part of my face.
A fisheye shot from a drone that flew up too close to your nose. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yes.
Take a photo at that angle.
Okay, see, this one would have been good if I'd finished it. But I just stopped. That is pen. That is so much ink.
The pen died and you were like, I don't want to
Fuck
do
it,
that one.
yeah. Look at, I finally figured out the 3/4 view. I did it. She's got some like spooky elf eyes. Definitely also a MySpace photo. All of my reference photos are MySpace photos. God, I had so much time and used it so poorly. Like, this took so long.
Right, and like, this entire bit is ultimately like, not important to the drawing.
Yeah, just like I very carefully drew entire lines. Just crowded together. For what? I just gave up. I drew one swirl and was like, I'm done.
You gotta go back and finish it and draw something on the other side.
God. It needs a hand in the foreground.
It's a really big hand.
Holding a spoon.
That'd actually be pretty funny if there's just a hand coming up from below right there holding a spoon.
With butter on it. Glowing butter. Life drawing class.
Got the blue-orange contrast.
It's like fine, and also I really did not understand what I was trying to do. Is really the problem. Like again, like all the lines are in the right place, but that's also like not the point of figure drawing. Just really evident in my pencil figure drawing from my sketchbook also is just like, that is the outline of that person. It's a very faithful silhouette. My kingdom for some shapes. Teenage girl art. And apparently I was not done with this series. Oh no, that was not the thing. Wow. Hang on.
Anticlimactic.
Apparently I was not done with this series.
Wow.
Because I had to do it again, but bigger.
Maybe those were all like brainstorms for this final masterpiece. It looks sick. As in diseased.
Yeah, it has a pox. Those are straight up pustules. That's so thick. That's not splatter. That's a lot of paint.
You dripped it onto the canvas at the end, yeah.
Why? Why? Why is... Maybe it's a forest. I did it. I surpassed reality.
It's acid rain.
You're right. It's exactly what it is. Here it is, eroding the oceans. And all the limestone buildings crumbling into dust, which was a thing we were afraid of at the time. To be fair, that was actually happening. It took like an treaty to fix it, but...
Yeah, it was as big a fear as accidentally killing that fish by leaving your faucet on too long while brushing your teeth from that animated PSA.
The water conservation duck still haunts my nightmares. Every time I leave the faucet running for like an extra millisecond, I'm like, oh god, the duck is gonna be mad at me. I'm not over it. Traumatized by that duck.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm absolutely covered in charcoal now. This is some angsty teenage shit right here. I assume these are song lyrics, but I'm afraid to find out. No, it's worse. It's journaling. It's bad. We're not reading that. No, that's not happening. And then just a close crop of an eye.
2 ringlets of hair.
Half a nose. I definitely still do this when I want to draw something, but I'm lazy. Half a face. Let's go. I'm not matching that. Just mirror the image later. Had your eyes really big? I don't know what I was on.
The anime. This is in
I got
all
big
of
eyes,
our...
but they're not that big.
Wow. Big.
Big. This is from grade 11. Not meant to be seen, apparently. I'm really about to be covered in charcoal. Oh no.
Oop.
Behold, the supply closet.
Rack number 2.
That one really brightly lit basket.
If this is a video game, I know exactly which item I'm supposed to pick up. I'm certain of it.
It's like... It's funny because it's not bad, and also that one panel is so bright.
It's an important basket.
It's the the one metal in a sea of plastic.
No paint cans. The reverse,
Too
it's
bad.
the one plastic in a sea of metal.
Incredible. Really stunning work. Like, this will actually look better on camera than it does in real life.
Yeah, it really might. The contrast will probably come through really, really clean. It's pretty goofy though. It's good though. It's technical.
Yeah, it's
You know?
fine. It's just teenager art. Like your baby. Leave this wrapping situation to you. Wow, this one sucks. Get ready. Yeah. Oh god, it's come unglued. It's not archival. Grade 11.
Evocative.
I used to think I was so good at figure drawing. Like, I nailed it.
There she is.
It's incredible.
A figure.
That's where all the lines go.
Nailed it.
She also looks a little bit like an amputee.
Yeah.
Not how elbows work.
The humerus is so long, too.
Mm-hmm.
Shoulder to elbow. It's like,
It's really long, and then there's no, like, bony protrusion of the, like, actual elbow. And so it just sort of ends in a nubbin. It looks like a hot dog.
she's actually carrying a baguette close to her body and it's sticking out from her clothing.
This is like that meme of, are these legs or hot dogs?
Yeah.
This is it. The first known instance. I'm gonna feel really bad if Rachel calls me and is like, our model had an amputated arm. What's wrong with you? You know, your best friend Steve.
With the amputated
With an
arm.
amputated arm.
He lost it saving your life in 10th grade.
That's whose portrait that was. Unbelievable. It's a box in a box. This is just a smaller portfolio contained in my portfolio. Oh, and these are better.
Must be from later, huh?
Maybe. Okay, just kidding. Some of them are worse. Maybe this is my 10th grade portfolio. Thank God I labeled these with names because I don't know who these people are.
Ryan looks like Shaggy from Scooby-Doo.
Daisy and Ryan. Ryan's giving me serious stoner vibes.
That's what I'm saying. Guy needs some Scooby snacks.
Daisy, just the 3/4 view that I did not know how to do yet, really failed Daisy. This must be honors art. I feel like all the failed 3/4 views were 10th grade. And then in 11th grade, I was like, wait, 2 nostrils. She's got some sick piercings, though. That is actually, like, my current piercing
It was
arrangement.
foretold.
Thanks for showing me the way, Daisy, in 2005, whoever you are.
Little known fact, he went to high school with Daisy Ridley.
Who?
The girl from Star Wars, I think.
Oh.
Maybe.
The only Daisy I know is from Great Gatsby. I've never met a Daisy. Daisy Buchanan is all I know.
Daisy, who you do?
See, this is me practicing to torture myself with ivy leaves.
There it is.
See? I was just like, there it is. Focal point of my piece. Tiny, impossible leaves. I briefly considered putting it up in a corner. And then I was like, nah, son.
Nah. The whole just like...
Just... this thumbnail, just ivy.
Just... You get all up in that ivy for this painting.
I don't actually remember which one I ended up going with, although we might find out. Hopefully it's in here. Ah, yes. This is when we had to do perspective. But it's just the classroom. There they are. The sinks in the art room.
According to the pencil markings, you got a 100 on this project, though.
Hell yeah, I did. I got 100 on all this garbage. My favorite is when I got the handle in the right place and was like, no. Inch it back.
I mean, maybe you had an off-centered handle in that classroom.
Maybe. The best part of this is really the air conditioning. Oh god, and then we had to do it again.
Outside.
No. Imagination land.
No.
Look at this bleak future in which there is a single tree suspended on a column of dirt with the flying cars we were all promised. And a pub.
Gonna have those in the future.
The only signage is join today and edge of the earth pub and parking. Oh, also a very small for rent sign. In the future, everyone wears 1940s hats.
Oh yeah. All the cars also move in a straight line.
This is just like I hadn't seen. What's that movie of do
Blade Runner.
Thank you.
Do androids dream of electric sheep?
Do electroids dream
Of android sheep?
Blade Runner. I feel like I was on like a Blade Runner vibe, having not seen Blade Runner. Like this is how this happened.
For all we know, you saw Blade Runner.
It's true.
Made
It was
this art.
actually my favorite movie in 10th grade.
The unicorn shows up in the next one of these pictures.
I just really like that I included a pub because I was hungry. And no one had fed me glowing butter in a while.
Wow, this next one gives me really a George Bush self-portrait painting.
Mean.
You know what I'm talking about, though?
Yeah. This is Amanda drawing Amanda. Your dad appears to be cleaning the gutters.
Yes.
He came out of nowhere. Wait, April of 5, so this might be 9th grade. Or would it be 10th? I have lost all track. No, probably still 10th grade. I don't know.
You said April?
April of 05.
Of 05, so it'd be the 04, 05 year, which would have been 10th grade.
Okay.
Because then it would be 05, 06, 11th, and then 06, 07.
Yes, it all adds up. Anyway, I like this enough to sign it. So I do remember Amanda, but only because there was like a really dramatic coming out tale, including her and my friend Jeremy, where they basically outed each other in an effort to draw suspicion off of themselves. And let me tell you how well that did not work at all.
If only they'd been able to play Among Us, they'd know the last thing you need to do as soon as you start